It is at 3:33 on our station of choice. Let's quickly get right on to empowering your vision on our station of choice.
Empowering your vision on Audible.
Right. On the line, I do have Mr. Mumpuliki Makwana. Mumpuliki, morning.
Hi, Zandile, how are you doing?
I'm okay. How are you?
I am great. I cannot complain.
Right. Let's get on to what we're talking about today. Before then, of course, please greet the listeners.
All right, I would like to say good morning to our listeners and make a shout out to our constant listeners, Lindy Seg and Buicharalo Matebe. I saw they've already sent message. The segment. We really appreciate that commitment to that personal development. Yes, today we are talking about changing the story of your life, changing the story of your life. That there gets a point where we need to say, I have been living with the script of my life se ne ke ipuela gore ke motho o ke ntseng jaana mme yaanong ka ke bona dio di change ka ke bona dio di hetoga ka ga dio dirwang ka teng le nna ke tshwanetse gore ke hetoge nkgopotsa mahoko one of the fathers of the field ya personal development, Jim Rohn, the late Jim Rohn. O kile a re, for things to change you have to change. That stories that got us to where we are today, and to go to the next phase and next level of our life, we need to do different things that can help us to qualify for that next stage, and that is what we are talking about today.
All right, let's just get on to the thought of the day today.
Yes.
Taken from TDJ. Mr. Mampuluki?
Yes. Oh, okay. I thought you are going to read it there. All right. Our thought of the day today is from TD Jakes. It's not the movement of the clock that is going to bring newness in your life, but it's the movement in your mind that is going to bring newness. It is not the movement of the clock that is going to bring newness in your life. It is the movement in your mind that is going to bring newness in your life. Ebe ke add the small subset ya that quote ke re, it's not the outside environment that is going to create the newness in your life, but a change in how you see things is going to bring new things in your life. It's not something that is happening in the outside that is going to bring new things in your life, but the way you change, when you change the way you look at things, then that is what is going to change. I think the thought of the day, Kabone, to break it down, ke gore ga se nako e yang go change dilo, but ke se diragalang mo teng ga gago se se ya go change dilo ka ga o bonang dilo ka teng ke sone se se setang up for a new life. That most of the time we think that it is something in the outside that has to happen in order for us to experience new joy, in order for us to experience that peaceful relationship again, in order for us to experience that joy at our workplaces. We are hoping that something magical may happen in our life in order for us to start experiencing that joyness in our life again, in order for us to start experiencing that peace of mind. But TDJ is not the movement of the clock, it's not something in the outside, it's not anything at all. It's the movement in your mind that is going to change everything that you are seeing in your life today.
Aha. That takes us to the first point. You are where you are because of the stories you keep believing and promoting in your life.
You are where you are because of the story you keep believing and the story you have always been telling yourself.
Mm.
Many people today, Les Brown said, they are not living their dreams, but they are living their fears. Because of the circumstances around them, because of life being life, they go through a lot. That some people are good people, but because of what they have gone through, it have suppressed that goodness in them and has allowed them now to look at life in a view of life is harmful. No one is out there for me. Everyone does not care about me. People don't support me. People don't love me. I cannot trust other people because life have happened and it has put them in a state where they are writing a different story about their future. They are no longer operating from faith. They are operating from fear. They are no longer operating from believing in themselves. They are operating from not believing in themselves. They have a different story because of what happened to them. On the other side as well, there are people who have gone through the beautiful part of life, who have seen the beautiful part of life, who have seen promotion after promotion, the goodness of the Lord after the goodness of the Lord. And the script they have about their life is that life is beautiful. That in the midst of trouble, in the midst of challenges, we have people who can look at one scenario and they take a different takeaways from them. Some people will look at what is happening right now and say, this is the moment why I was born. This is where I need to spread vibrancy of positive energy. This is the moment where I have to show up. This is the best time for me to start that business. While all in all, everything has been normal, they have not been starting a business. But some people can look at the circumstance and say, this is where I need to get done. What changed? It's only the story they have been telling themselves. We are not operating on anything beyond the script of the story we have kept telling ourselves. I remember some years ago, while I was still a school dropout, the story about my life was about blaming my parents. The story about my life was about blaming other people. It was not about taking full responsibility for my life. But everything else began to change in my life when I started changing the story to say, if I don't change my life, nothing will happen. If I don't take responsibility of the mistakes that I've done, then nothing will happen. And up until I got in a position to say, I am sick and tired of being sick and tired of blaming other people, of complaining, of going around looking at what can go wrong. And I started shifting the story to say, what can go right? What can come out of this relationship? Out of this call today, what can come out? Out of this encounter today online, talking to someone, what beautiful thing can come out? And up until you move from just blocking things, you move from just feeling the pity parties, you move from, oh, things don't happen for me, oh, I'm not qualified enough. You are going to continue getting the results of what you are promoting in your life. In our day-to-day life, every day we see marketing billboards, we see radio jingles. Businesses are promoting what they are selling, and they are not going to promote anything they don't have in store. So most people today, unlike businesses, they are promoting the things they don't want in their lives. They are speaking the life and language of defeat, while in deep in their hearts they want success. And now they are not getting success without realizing that what they constantly tell, what they constantly put out, what they constantly say about their lives is what is creating their reality. And up until you change your marketing, up until you change the content you are putting out, you are going to continue to get and to be where you are. Changing our realities is a matter of changing the story we keep telling ourselves. And my question to our listeners today is, what kind of story are you telling yourself today? In the face of adversity, in happy times, in good times. Zandile, there are people by long about it. Now good things don't happen to me. This is too good to be true.
Yeah.
And indeed it end up being too good to be true, because no matter what, they are not giving themselves a space to heal, a space to move forward, a space to keep going forward. I shared some code that I shared every day on my social media page, Mumpuliki Makwana. I share codes every day called daily greatness, and this one fantastic code that I love. I said, yes, feel sad, cry if you have to, feel pity for yourself if you have to, but don't stay there. Go all the way to healing, to getting better and seeking help. That sometimes we all are emotional. We all go through hard times. Sometimes the people we thought will show up for us, they don't show up for us. Sometimes the people you trusted that this is the person I am going to spend the rest of my life with, they don't spend the rest of your life with. And that is life. And we don't just end there. Because you are here, it means you are still in the game. It means now you have to say a different shift. You have to take another shift and say, what can I do next that can get me to where I want to go? It's only the story you keep telling yourself that is creating your reality. It's not your mother, it's not your brother, it's not your boss, it's not your employer. It's the story you have inside of you that I am worth it. I can do better. If this job ends, I can find another one. When this relationship ends, does not mean the end of my life. In this coronavirus, is COVID-19. It means that I am still going to live on forever. My family is going to thrive through this. My business is going to get better. I am not going to sit down and cry about it. Yes, I am hurt, but at the end of the day, the decision that I make about my life for going forward is what will create my reality. That is changing the story of your life, and no one can do it for you. You owe it yourself to say, I am willing to move to the next level. And the moment you say that, I don't know how it happens, but the universe conspires to help the dreamer. Those are the words of Confucius. He said, the universe conspires to help a dreamer. That at some moment, all you need to do is to tell your story, to change your marketing, to channel your ways and say, where am I going? Even when I'm faced with this, what's next?
All right, let's go on to the second one. The second one, Mr. Magwana says, engage on building a new life by creating a new story about yourself.
Sometimes when you want good things in your life,
Mm,
sometimes when you look around, there's nothing a sign of good things. When you aspire to become a better employee, and
mm,
you can get in a position where you look around in your work environment, and the work environment is not at all creating that conducive environment to become that amazing employee. There's a book that I've worked on. I haven't told you before. I haven't told you yet, but the book is called "What Amazing Employees Do."
mm,
When doing the research about what amazing employees do, I found out that the Boston group of companies, they once did a research, and in this research, one of the findings they found out is that most people, 4 out of 5 individuals, they leave their work environment because they don't feel appreciated.
mm-hmm.
Yes. And then I went on to say, it's not the salary. No, the salary actually comes at number 7. The first one
Mm,
is appreciation. The second one is the relationship they have with their employers, the
yeah,
relationship they have with their colleagues. Now, in an environment, Zandile, where you have a beautiful story about yourself saying, I
mm,
want to be an amazing employee.
mm,
Sometimes when you look around where you really want to be amazing, it does not look like an amazing environment. So
mm,
the challenge is to keep consistently believing in the story you are telling yourself, even when the environment does not seem like that. Because at the end of the day, you are not going to get the reality that you are portraying from the environment, but you are going to get the reality that you are building in the inside of you. So, my challenge in today when I do coaching and mentoring for different individuals is to be able to help them to control their internal world so that they are not misled or they are not giving up on what they believe in because of what's happening around them. That
mm,
it's possible that
mm,
sometimes you can be a loyal, loving person, but in a
mm,
relationship with someone who is not in the same boat with you.
yeah,
That sometimes you can be this amazing employee, but in an environment where you don't have amazing bosses and managers. That sometimes you can be in an environment where you are really taking care of your family, but people don't appreciate you at all. What do we do? Do we just sit down and say, oh, I tried my best, I give in? Or
no,
we say, what can I do next? Where can I seek help? Who can I find today who can help me to make this transition? You are not going to give up because of what's happening around you. There's a quote that I shared this morning. I said, adversity is here, but guess what? It's here to pass. Seasons come to pass. The mediocrity that you see maybe around you because of what certain people do is going to pass. But your dream is stuck with you for life. You
mm,
might as well find a plan of making it happen regardless of what's happening around you. And therefore, what I'm trying to say is what lies before us and what lies behind us are tiny matters compared to what lies within us. That in us, there is a seed of greatness that
yeah,
we need to make sure that it comes to life. And we are not going to give up just because of what is happening around us. We are not going to change the story of our lives because of that heartbreak, because of that relationship ending, because of that loss of a job, because of that loss of a client. You are not going to change yourself because of what's happening around you, because life will always be hitting hard on us. My mentor said something very important. He said, pain is everywhere. You cannot run away from pain. Viktor Franklin, one of the best poets in the world, he said, pain is the unavoidable suffering that you may hide under your bed, but it will still be there. That life kicks all of us, whether you are running on your journey, making your dreams a reality, or not at all. You are still going to feel the pain. So you might as well feel the pain following your passion, following your dream, and sticking to the script you have about your life. It's high time we find people who are willing to say, I am going to do it regardless of what I'm going through. That my going throughs are not my reality. My adversity is not my destiny. That I am choosing that every single day when I wake up, I am going to do my best. The gentleman wrote a book, in his book, The Measure of a Man. He said, make sure you do all that you can do, because all you can do is enough. That most of us today, we know deep inside of our hearts that we haven't done all that we can do. We have allowed life to knock us down. But remember what TD Jakes, our thought of the day, is saying today. It's not the movement of the clock that is going to bring newness in your life. It's the movement in your life. You get a new life by changing the way you look at your life.
Yes. Ooh, that was nice. Let's go on to the last one, Mr. Magwana. The last one says, let me just fix myself here. Uh-huh. The last one says, find a community of people who are intentional about growth.
As you have a story about your life that says, I can prosper, I can do
Mm,
well, my relationship can work, my work environment can get better.
mm,
On your own, you may not believe it. But my mentor said something very important to me, when I was starting this area of coaching and mentoring Zandile. He
mm,
said, sometimes it takes someone to believe in you for you to start believing in yourself.
mm,
That sometimes you are saying, nanga kono dira radio, and someone keeps pushing you, Zandile, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this. I see you have started a YouTube channel, and it's coming up well. That
mm,
that that sometimes it's not me who wrote the book. Like people see us doing all these things. I've almost completed 6 books right now, and it's not all the internal drive to say I'm a positive person. Sometimes it took someone that I just met and I don't even know. They say, why don't you do this? And it set me on that right path. There are words that I love so much. The gentleman once said, he said, embrace all experiences. You never know which one will turn everything on. Embrace
mm,
all experiences. You never know which one will turn everything on. So, creating a circle of people who are growing, it gives you that energy when you don't feel like doing it. When you have an accountability partner, Zandile, or okay, I want to commit to losing weight, and you have 3 people who are doing the same thing. When you don't feel like, waking up, they can make a call and say, hey, how is it going? And that can be your motivation to keep going. Now,
mm,
most people, they have beautiful dreams, but they don't have a circle of people who are inspiring them and empowering them to go into that space.
mm.
And therefore, they give up, they quit, not because they are not good, but because they don't have people around them who can encourage them to keep going when the going gets hard. So we need to find people, and they are there, Zandile. They are there. We need to find people who can help us to grow in our way. When you want to lose weight, there's a clan waiting for you. Baba Lauren, they are losing weight. When you want to a better working environment, somewhere, Zandile, someone is looking for a better working environment. And the moment we have conversations with them, the more answers you have. We get stuck when we only want to lean on our own understanding. I see even what the Bible says, lean not on your own understanding, but also on God. So I am extending it to say, also find other people who are in the field who can help you to grow. As you do that, you are going to leverage on that belief. And as they keep believing that you are powerful, you are magnificent, you are beautiful, you can find another relationship, this heartbreak does not mean the end of your life. They give you that courage. Most people today, what they need is someone who can tell them, you can do it. You can go one more step. You can take one more push up. You can make another jog today. You can wake up and do it today. And as they keep doing that, they start believing in themselves. And once they start believing in themselves, they now make it a habit. And a habit is what we get. And our reality begin to change step by step, day by day. Remember my favorite quote: inch by yard is hard. When we try to take the whole bite, it's very hard. But inch by inch makes everything cinch. By yard is hard, but inch by inch makes everything cinch. We can start today to develop a beautiful story about our lives. And as we believe that story, we write that story down, we keep sharing it. Just like businesses, as they do their marketing through billboards, you can also start building your dream by marketing it on what you say every single day, by sharing with other people every day. But not only that, but also finding a group of people who are willing to grow. People who are not growing, they find a problem to every solution. They find why things cannot work. But as you hang around people who are growing, when you tell them about your success, they don't feel like you are bragging because they too are growing. So find people around you who are growing, who can also share the same story with you to say, we can do this, guys. We can get better, guys. We can. So as you constantly hear that, you are building in your psyche the possibility mindset, which we'll talk about it next week.
All right, Mr. Makwana, it has been an absolute pleasure. Kinali Wena, Laila Batono Kohai.
Thank you so much, Zandile. My number is 74776196. 74776196. And Hompego, I've started a 1 month program, Eki Rananka Machi, ki career development. How do we make shift during adversity? If you are interested, that is my number. And on Facebook, Mompuliki Makwana. Also like our page, Empowering Your Vision on RB2. Thank you so
All
much,
right.
Zandile.
Thank you so much, Mr. Makwana. Next week, Tuesday.
All right, bye.
Bye.